All right, so I'm going to see if I can do this off the cuff and just talk about what's going on in a table tennis forehand stroke. Let's talk about weight transfer first. Weight transfer, your weight moves from your back foot to your front foot. It would be good if you could see my feet better, but I don't have someone to hold the camera. I'm shifting back and forward, from right foot to left foot, and that moves my hips forward. In baseball, this would be huge, where your hips would actually move more than a foot, maybe 2 feet. In table tennis, it's really a small pop. This is even an exaggeration. Now, core rotation. Your waist turns from here to here, not to here. It shouldn't be like a big turn. It's pop into the ball, pop from here to here, right timed with the racket moving. Now, let's see one thing. If you keep your elbow a stable angle and just turn and move your upper arm. Look at the speed of my hand. See the speed of my hand. You can do this on certain shots. This isn't that big a deal. If you're just controlling the ball and you're trying to hit back nicely without too much spin or speed to someone. Take a moment, look at the speed of my hand now. I'm going to have my arm straight and I'm not going to bend my elbow. Just look at the speed of my hand with the arm straighter and notice this is much slower than this. I'm going to give you one more detail on mechanics. To see movement from the shoulder joint, the elbow would move back and forward. To see movement from the elbow joint, the arm would start straighter and bent, more bent. If you see a player who starts with their arm straight and ends with their arm bent, almost all top pros, I can only think of a few who sometimes end up with their arm straight once in a while. If you see a top pro who starts straight and ends with the elbow bent, it means they bent their elbow. If you watch real closely and one frame at a time, look at where they start bending. It's a little before contact so that you get that acceleration. Now, one more time. Look at the speed of the arm from me just doing core rotation and moving my shoulder while keeping the elbow stable, bent at the same angle. Now, look at the speed when my arm is straighter and getting lower, so hopefully you can see my arm. Now, I'm just moving my hand from the bend of my elbow. Notice this is faster than either of the other two, and I'm doing nothing. And if this stays stable, and you just, this is actually what often gets called a European loop. I'd say it's a close to the table loop. You move further back, that won't have enough power. You'll want to swing bigger. So, just the elbow. Good. And if you add the upper arm with the elbow, very little effort. My hand now is moving much faster than the previous ones. And I'm still not trying hard. Anyway, one more detail. There was a while back where OSPH, old school penhold, was having trouble with his shoulder, and I saw video of his forehand loop. And I said, you need to talk to me. We have to take a look at your shoulder. What I was seeing there is in his stroke, his shoulder was going up like this for him to raise his arm, which meant something that should happen in the shoulder joint was being replaced to the acromioclavicular joint and the acromioclavicular joint, and the sternoclavicular joint, more the sternoclavicular joint, that now I'm elevating the whole shoulder girdle, whereas here, it's just the movement of my shoulder moving my whole arm forward and up. Again, if you want to see the shoulder movement, you look how far forward and up the elbow moves from the shoulder joint, how much the upper arm moves. If you want to see movement at the elbow joint, you see how close to straight the arm is, how far bent it is at the follow-through of the stroke. Choose any pro player, doesn't matter who, and watch if on their follow-through their elbow has a bend in it. I saw a video of Jusei Hook this morning where in his follow-through his arm was almost straight, kind of like what I said Wong Hao does. Wong Hao did it a lot, but he's still actually using a little bit of forearm with his arm almost straight. That, even if it's a small action, gives your racket so much more acceleration that you have to work much less hard for the pace on the ball and the spin. But adding the hips and the core rotation does give you more oomph behind the ball. Anyway, I hope seeing the information is helpful.